Hi guys, welcome back to Mystify. Now, as you can see on my screen, this is Lab 5 based on networking. We'll cover some basic stuff for networking in terms of troubleshooting, in terms of the conceptualized knowledge, not very detailed because we already have covered the networking on cloud as a part of VPC. And you can also have a look onto the channel here. So, this would give you a brief overview on the VPC. Uh, I do have a separate playlist for VPC. Let me close this first. Because, okay, so this is the VPC playlist. You can take a look. We have 6 videos here, and all. So you can take a look on the repository if you like to provision anything like VPC EC2. Just do this stuff on your own, and with the help of the videos that I've uploaded separately for each topic. Anyways, let's come back to networking section. So, what is port at first place? I would rather ask instead of going ahead in detail. If you don't know, let me tell you. Port is kind of like a door for an application. You can say like it's an apartment number where the IP is your building, right? So for an example, if you have uh, if you see somewhere 22, then that port belongs to SSH, and 8443, these are for HTTP and HTTPS. Likewise, we have separate ports for SQLs, app servers. So, and then we have protocols. We have protocol like TCP, UDP. In detail, you can go through it on the internet. However, I'm just briefing about the use cases of it. So, for example, TCP protocol is used for your web SSH DB, whereas your UDP is most reliable for DNS is streaming because it is fast, right? uh, Comparatively. So when we talk about some commands and networking commands, then first command we uh, just a second, let me restart the terminal because again hands-on would be very important for you to understand. So if I do IP-A, what would it give? It would give me, the output where I can identify my server IP. Um, so for this, if you can assume what is my server IP, let's go to the console here, my zero instance. My server IP is ending with 45 and 84, 45.84. Let's see, we have anything like that. So here we have 45.84. So this is my server IP. You can see it has resolved to. And if you say host name hyphen I, let's say hyphen I, it would give you the exact IP of the this particular server. Instead of giving this as an output, you just if you need just a IP, so you can say host name. And if you like to check any interfaces, whether there is any disconnection or anything, or maybe cloud network troubleshooting you like to do, you can say IP link. That would give you some idea around it. Go through it. If you don't know, just Google it. If you are aware of the networking stuff, I'm not here to explain the networking data networking stuff, how the packet goes in and out, router switches and everything else, right? But if you like to take a look on the VPC part, the cloud network, how it works on the AWS, I have already showed you the playlist. Okay, so and these are the things you can do on AWS, but this is on the server level. Sometimes there are applications gets disconnected with the database, maybe on-prem. So you log into EC2 instance and see that how the what's my IP and how the traffic is flowing and what troubleshooting you can do. What are the ports it has opened if you have the on-prem Linux server. If you don't have the EC2, because in the EC2 we manage these things on the console itself, like on the security group or via NACL or via VPC components, right? So if I do within the server like ss hyphen tuln, this would give you what is the application. Uh, I mean, this will give you an idea to verify if your application is running. So this is the first command you would be seeing when your application is unreachable. ss-tuln. This is the very first command that you look for. And the second command you can do is netstat. So instead of ss, do netstat. This will give you this will give you whether your application is listening, like I said. So these two commands is very important for you to know, to check whether what are the apps you have and whether it is listening to one what port it is listening to. Okay, so for example, this is listening to 80, this is listening to 22, like that. Okay, and which app uses which port, if you like to take a look, you can also do these same commands but with sudo as well. So sudo ss-tuln and sudo hyphen, I'm sorry, sudo netstat hyphen tuln. Right, this would give you again the same output, but this will help you to identify if there are any port conflicts, or maybe you would like to kill the correct process, maybe just to avoid killing the wrong processes. So this is really helpful. Next is how you can test the port locally. So for the local testing, you always do curl. So for an example, if I do curl http colon colon localhost, this is the local host on 80, right? So let me see if I get anything here. So it says welcome to Nginx. This is the web page. And why we are seeing this web page, welcome to Nginx, because we have it here. If you like to browse this public IP, let me sign again. Where is it? Although I'm logged into that IP only, but still, let's see. So if I open this address here, what you would be seeing here is, in an enterprise level, you review it from the public IP, but this is my personal stuff, so I have public IP attached, and I am going to load the page for the public IP. No HTTPS, it is HTTP. So this says welcome to Nginx because we have installed Nginx in my previous videos when we were talking about some processes and systems. So there I did that installation, and this is the same thing you are seeing here uh, in the terminal. Okay, so that's how you uh, verify whether your app is responding or not. So app response is basically the primary thing here. However, if you do we don't have any 8080 port open here, but I would like to show you if you have any application running on port 8080 like that, and you let's do this on the reserved address. So if you know what reserved address is, you will be able to get this dot 0 dot 1, and it says fail to connect because there is no port 8080. There is no app is listening to port 8080. There is no hosting there, so it is not able to connect it, right? So if you do the ping to any public page like for google.com, if I do, I'm sorry, it says ping google google.com, it is trying to get the response. It is able to ping because google.com is public, so network reachability is something you can uh, troubleshoot with, not for google.com but for any other application you have issues with. I'll cancel it. If I talk about anything related to DNS, maybe sometimes on the enterprise level ping is blocked, it's not enabled. So what we do is we ping the server IP in that case. If you don't have any other server, but you can ping that server IP, whatever 10.56 dot whatever it is, right? So that is how you can test the things. And there is one more command, telnet will help you to confirm whether your port is open, or you can do the app level debugging here, whether your it is resolving to anything on port 80. Since telnet is not enabled, I'm not sure whether I can install it like this. Just a second. Telnet with the sudo. Now I'll run this command. So see, your local host is listening to 80, as I shown you earlier, and now I ran telnet again, and it says connected because I had the entry there. So this is trying to connect to the localhost. Localhost doesn't the reserved IP, right? That's how you can troubleshoot. And then there is something called firewall. And when we talk about firewall, let's clear this workspace. When we talk about firewall, how we can check that within the system is sudo ufw, and then we'll check the status of firewall. And we don't have any command found. We don't have any ufw enable, so I don't think I can uh, really run these commands. Let me again try if I can install this as well. By ufw, no argument. So yeah, these are the commands you can work with. If you do sudo uf, if it's ufw is enabled, because most of the time we um, most of the time we manage these firewall settings or the security group or the NACL settings on the AWS itself. So we don't really have to do anything within the server. But there are some settings on the server as well. System firewall, you can say, if you have worked on Windows, there is Windows firewall you see there that is similar to this Linux system, and you can try to access this. And these are the things you can play with. Other than that, I think we have almost covered everything. So let me catch you in our next lab. That is nothing but I think related to SSH maybe. Oh, it's app hosting. We'll talk about it, and then we'll talk about SSH access. So we'll first go through app hosting, and then we'll come to SSH, and then we'll end up with failure simulation and automation. Okay. All right. We'll see.